Hey, welcome again to Huckins on Film. Well, been a busy bee this week, haven't I? Just got back from seeing the new Harmony Korine movie, Spring Breakers. Now, first, we're going to go through the trailers. Saw Pain and Gain again. You know, when it keeps out the Michael Bay slapstick, it actually looks like a pretty good movie. There was that one trailer that revealed all the bad stuff. Also had the Kick-Ass 2 trailer. I never saw part 1. I'm going to take care of that because this movie looks like a blast. Seriously, it just looks very over-the-top, incredibly violent. And they've got Jim Carrey in it. He's playing a very grim and gritty Captain America stand-in. He's playing it totally straight, but it's very over the top at the same time. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm starting off with those trailers because I noticed something very interesting in both of them. They both used music from Dread. I think that's why I liked this Pain and Gain more, was like, ooh, I hear Dread. That makes me... Yes, I actually do listen to the Dread soundtrack quite a bit. The fucking movie so much. You don't understand. And there's not going to be a sequel. Damn you all to hell for not seeing it. Save the hatred for the review. Had Iron Man 3 trailer. Everyone's seen that by now. Had Red Man trailer for This Is the End, the party at James Franco's house that ends in the rapture. This one looked a lot funnier than the last one for some reason. I'm not sure why. I said I'm probably going to check it out because that premise is just so damn goofy. I gotta check it out. I'm always up for an interesting premise. Okay. Danny Boyle's new movie, Trance. I can see a trailer for that. All they had to do was say Danny Boyle, and I'm in. This trailer had the greatest warning I've ever seen in it, though. So, it had R, it's green band, but no, R for violence, sexual situations, drug use. Oh, no, and grisly violence. Now, grisly and violence, you would think it's gruesome, it's grisly, Grisly. This had grisly violence, Grizzy. So I'm guessing someone gets mauled by a fucking bear in this movie. I'm gonna be really fucking pissed if this is not the case. Because you don't tell me someone's getting mauled by a bear and then not have a bear attack. That is false advertising. I will call the Better Business Bureau. And had The Place Beyond the Pines. So looks like a melodrama / crime thriller starring Ryan Gosling as a motorcycle jock who commits bank robberies. It's from the director of Blue Valentine. I never saw it, but it's like, Ryan Gosling, fast machinery, and crime. Okay. Worked in Drive. I'm in. And last one, at least that I can recall, was Sofia Coppola's new movie, Bling Ring. Which it looks like a bunch of suburban girls just committing crimes and their story and their arrest. It doesn't look that great, but it kind of looks like what Spring Breakers was supposed to be. Guess we're going to get into the main feature now. I've only seen one Harmony Korine movie. That was Go-Mo. which had a fantastic soundtrack if you're an underground metal fan. It was painful to fucking watch, though. I mean, seriously, by the time it was over, I wanted to beat the living shit out of the guy who suggested it to me. It was... Another place I've really seen him was a black metal documentary called Until the Light Takes Us. And there's one part where he's doing performance art to black metal. And it's just him dressed like a doofus, dancing around, and I'm just watching it, praying to God some angry Norwegian comes in with a morning star and scatters his head meat to the four winds with one good swing. Yeah, I went in not a fan. On the other hand, it's like, has two former Disney child stars in what sounds like a really screwed up film about four young girls turning to a life of crime to finance their spring break shenanigans. This is an interesting premise. It kind of sounds like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants if it had been directed by Tony Scott. Oh, that would have been an awesome movie. Unfortunately, this wasn't directed by Tony Scott. It's directed by Harmony Korine. This movie's like watching paint dry. It's just dull. I mean, seriously, it takes place at spring break. It's about four girls embarking on a crime spree on spring break. And it's dull. To quote William Hurt in A History of Violence, how do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? Apparently, it's quite easy. Because, oh, God, I couldn't tell you the last time I sat when I was in a movie theater. I just kept looking at my watch. I almost walked out. A few people did. Meaning they're smarter than me. I mean, it's got a runtime of 90 minutes, but it felt a good 45 to 60 minutes longer. And this movie could actually be a lot shorter. This barely even qualifies as a movie. It's just there's the odd scene of things happening in between slow motion montages. This whole thing is in montage. And it's not even always chronological either. A lot of hackneyed narration going on. I'll give Korine this in the screenplay. He's really good at writing the sort of dialogue you would expect from someone who's not very articulate. I don't know if that's a compliment. I don't think I mean it that way. But he's good at making sure dumb people sound dumb. And oh, they're all over this one. Like the four girls are heroes. I can't even be bothered to remember their names for the most part, except for one. One character, you know, she goes to Bible study. She's the good girl of the group. Her name is Faith. Real subtle there, Harmony. Real subtle. And she proves to be the smartest one because she's the first to figure out, okay, we're getting in way too deep. I need to get the hell out of here. Although the most interesting scene she's in is when they show her Bible study, and it's being led by frickin' pro wrestler Jeff Jarrett. Like, well, that was unexpected. I still don't care, but that was unexpected. I'll give it that. Of course, this movie has, like I said, Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens, 2 former Disney stars. This thing's all about the stunt casting. Because that's all this movie has, is tricks. There's nothing going on. There's montages, the stunt casting. Events are shown out of chronological order. Because if this just had a straight narrative, no montages, no slow-mo, the thing would be over in under an hour. It'd still be boring, but at least it'd be over a lot faster. And the worst part with the montages is it shows the same ones over and over again. You know, just all kinds of bacchanalian excess at spring break. You see the same one so many times that it manages to make tits boring. Yeah! I was shocked too. But, like, oh, great, we're doing this again. How long was the script for this movie? Like 5, 6 pages? There's dialogue is nearly non-existent. What dialogue there is, every line in this movie gets repeated like 2 or 3 times. I kind of felt like, oh, are they just saying the same thing over and over again, or have I just gone mad? I wasn't sure. But, yeah, I don't think I've gone nuts. It was just, oh, great, they're repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. I mean, seriously, for a violent, sexually charged crime thriller, I can't talk much about the acting because nobody has much to do. The only slightly interesting character in this was Al, who goes by the name Alien, played by James Franco. He's a local gangster who they fall in with. And you see the montage of all his stuff. And he's got guns, drugs, you know, he's got the full-blown arsenal. And I'm watching this montage, and I'm watching his dialogue getting repeated over and over again. And all I'm thinking is, why aren't we watching a movie about his rise to power? Because that would be interesting. That would have things happen on the screen. Like, seriously. I want to see his rise to power, like, directed by, like, Pete Travis or Gareth Evans. Okay, I mean, I want those two to direct everything, but that's beside the point. Back to another word. God damn, I love Dread. Why couldn't I watch that again? I should have. I'm an idiot. Yeah, this movie, it's got violence. It's got nudity. It's got no story. It's got no narrative. And it's got no consequences of any kind for any of these girls. I mean, it's a... Wow. I'm not getting that 90 minutes back, am I? Seriously, there's that little angry psychopathic part of my brain that's trying to get every person that's seen Spring Breakers together for a class action lawsuit. Yeah. Or, I mean, if I ever see him in the street, I'm going to mug him I'm only going to take $12.50. That was the price of the ticket. I don't know what that says about me as a human being, but I just need some small measure of revenge for watching this movie. Even though he didn't make me watch it. And I more or less knew it was going to be bad. But I was figuring it'd at least be fun bad. Because when the actors have stuff to do, they do fine. I don't think he's a bad director in that regard. I think he's pretty good with shots. But my God, the man has no sense of pace. You know, it's mind-boggling that when he's making a movie, he's thinking, no, this scene isn't quite bending the laws of physics. What do I do? Slow motion montage. Because that's what probably about the third to half of this movie is. It's just a slow motion montage. And that's where most of the interesting stuff is happening too. And there's just like that very minimal hackneyed narration over everything. So, you know, there's just people are getting robbed, beaten. All this interesting stuff is happening. And you're just hearing the occasional word blurted out by some twit who thinks he's a poet. It gets painful. Like I said, I think the actors do their job fine. It's shot well. I'm not gonna lie, it's a nice looking movie. I think he's got a great sense of cinematography, but just the concept of pacing does not exist. Like, seriously, if this movie was any slower at the end, it'd be at the beginning because it fucked time itself. It's just, everything just drags. You know, this is a short film. Just that tortured for about a good hour beyond its breaking point. Like I said, I think this is an interesting premise. If this had been like a Tony Scott movie when he was still alive, this movie probably would have been a friggin' blast. But instead, it's this paceless dreck that's probably swallowed up by the incredibly pretentious. So, yeah, that's my take on it. It's not a good art film because it has nothing to say. Dear God, as an action film or a crime film, it's a complete failure. There's good movies to be made with... Like, there are elements of a good movie in there. Like I said, I would love to see Al's rise to power. Just not directed by Harmony Korine. I mean, okay, it would be a total Scarface knockoff, but I'm okay with that. Scarface is a great flick. This is not at all. Seriously, even though he's white, Mario Van Peebles, direct a movie about Al. It'd be friggin' great. Seriously, it would be like New Jack City, St. Petersburg. I don't know about you, I'm fine with that, because New Jack City fucking rocked. Oh, man. I can't believe I saw this piece of shit. I mean, at least I got to see 2 trailers that have the Dread soundtrack in them, but I can listen to that anytime. In fact, I often do. Thank you, Paul Leonard Morgan. We salute you. But yeah, Spring Breakers. Yeah, pretend this movie will give you AIDS, and just avoid it. Not mean HIV, I mean straight to the AIDS. Ugh. It's Kyle Huckins for Huckins on Film. Fucking.